Hi again, everybody. We find ourselves here in Köln, and we are definitely not favorites for this match. They have a number of legends. We have a couple of our own. Milan Galić there has the captain's arm up front, and Maradona in there, and of course there's also Leviashin. And so we'll see how this one goes. Augsburg trying to move up this table, and we'll move up as slowly as we need to. But this is definitely not a friendly environment, and we'll see how this works. Campagnaro with it over to Nia on the right side. Yellow ball today. That's brought out by Thielmann. Here comes the throw right off the bat. Galić back to Nia. Pedro Roca lumps that one forward. That was for Broja. Broja hasn't started for a little while. He's still fast, still good, still young, and still has it. Pedro Roca wins this over to Garnacho, over to Nia now. Nia brings this up right side. Maradona to Roca, and that's going to be out for a corner. A pretty good start here so far for Augsburg. Maradona will take this, and is knocked out again for another corner. We'll try it again. He's looking for Seco, didn't quite work, and there's Broja with it. He tries to just lump it up and in, and came very, very close to doing so. That's where that speed helps. We'll take another look at this, and Broja came out from almost nowhere and just simply ran past four guys, and unfortunately was unable to beat the keeper. But that wasn't bad at all. Here's Nia with the throw. So we're doing better this game than we did yesterday. We have all the momentum from the beginning. Seiko runs back over and grabs that. We'll knock that over to Luca Nets, over to Campagnaro. Campagnaro now moves it back, and is going to knock it all the way back to Yashin, and so we'll try it again. Here's Seiko with it. Down to Nets. Nets, a little bit of hesitation, and then put the pace on, and has won a corner. So that's not bad, and we have another one. Here comes Maradona again to take it, I believe. Yep. Headed out, and Broja, I suppose, was onside. He was a little close to being offside, but we win the throw in the end. Only about 6 minutes into this match, we've had quite a bit of action already. Here's the throw from the other side, and it's Galić with it. Milan Galić to Nia to Maradona, and let's see if we can find Galić again. Pedro Roca, and there he is. And that was deflected up and out, so that'll be yet another corner for Augsburg. Gonna look near post here, and there's Seiko, and he just can't quite get onto it. Broja heads it back, but doesn't quite work out for him. And Enzo Broimo gets away with that tackle. I thought he was going to be sent off. Pedro Roca over to Maradona, and we end up not being flagged for being offside there, and there was a lot of questions about what was going on. And more questions going to be asked here as we give up a corner. That was not exactly the best defensive run I've ever seen from this team, I'll put it that way. And that's up and out for another corner. And that gets the dog excited. Seiko heads this over looking for Roca. I can't find him. And that has been deflected once again. So we've given up more than our fair share of corners here. As I've said before, if you think that with these players we're going to dominate everybody, you've got another thing coming, because it's not quite that easy. It really is not. This has not been particularly easy. The header at the end by Köln ended up going out. There's Nets in the back, over to Campagnaro, back to Nets. We'll find Boyomo over to Seiko now. Pedro Roca to Nia. This looks a little bit better. Forward for Galić. And man, oh man, Milan Galić. Galić doing what none of our strikers to this point have really been able to do. We had been looking and looking for a striker who could really score him, and we haven't. I mean, it's a ridiculous angle. And it's 1-0 for Augsburg. There's not really much of a question of being offside. He was onside, timed the run just right. And he gets into that angle and just powers it on forward. So 1-0 for Augsburg here. We're just not quite 20 minutes into this match. And Nia goes over and wins it. So this would put us up to 36 points, a victory here today. Galić just cannot win that header. And like I've said before, every point counts. It's Garnacho here in the back, and we try to squeeze out every point we can. Garnacho over to Galić, to Maradona. Maradona, a little bit of start, stop, ends up with Pedro Roca. Campagnaro now to Garnacho, forward for Galić, can't quite find it. Maradona does win it in the end though. Garnacho, here you go. Well, Garnacho says, I'll just walk up there and take it if nobody's going to guard me. And it wasn't a bad idea in the end. They did catch up in the end, unfortunately. And Garnacho has forced another corner here for Köln. So, I mean, we are up 1-0, and we've been looking good this match, but we're not out of it yet. And you have Yashin with an incredible save. Man, oh man. I'm happy that he's on our side. Will be Crompton coming over here for Köln, and Seiko is able to head it out. Garnacho, and his header doesn't quite go far enough for this Schaefer. And they're saying that he was offside, which is good because Yashin didn't even try to stop that. I'm glad that flag was up. Pedro Roca wins this and loses it again. And Yashin with another great save. Overath was knocked down there in the back. I thought they were going to call a foul here. Pedro Roca knocks him around once. And then he's knocked around here again by Broya. So you can see some of our tactics here. We're kind of bullies out there, aren't we? We're just sort of pushing people around and trying to use our strength on them, which is funny because we're not a particularly old or strong squad. Nets heads this one back, but not far enough, and then Yashin with the excellent save. And he'll knock this forward over Galić or Broya, and it'll be no, Galić does not win it, unfortunately. He's just a little bit too slow, but Broya is fast enough to win this and turns nothing into something. Passes to Galić, who comes down with the Maradona to Galić. Oh, man. So the improvisation is really flying here and showing. Pedro Roca wins this here in the back, and we're going to keep it up. Seiko now with it. And he goes all the way back to Yashin. It'll be to Enzo Boyomo. Mia now. Pedro Roca. Forward from Maradona. Here we go again. And Armando Broya has done it.
Torschütze heute Nachmittag für das Team der Torschützen.
Take another look at this here. He gets in great space, and once he's there, it's just a little matter of tapping it forward. This is what happens when you have a fast team. And Maradona is pretty fast. 2-0 for Augsburg, and we're just getting warmed up. A big win here would definitely raise some eyebrows. Not sure what that was from Crompton. He just sort of ran that one out of bounds. I'm not sure what he was thinking. That's over to Boyomo, Roca over to Nia, and so we've broken out of that trap. And Maradona with it to Roca. We have a chance here at a counter-attack, and here it comes. Look at all that red. And Broya does get a head onto it, but he gets a little bit too much of a head onto it. It's going to be a goal kick. Schaefer in the back, and see, this is what happens when you have speed at the back. You're able to run things like that down. Maradona is not going to win it. Yes, he will. He stayed with it. Campagnaro forward, and it's Galić, but he's offside. 2-0 Augsburg. Raining very lightly here in Köln. Galić wins it. Forward for Broya, who's onside. Now he's offside. They're going to say he was offside. I thought he was onside, so my mistake. I guess I didn't look over at the right time or something. Campagnaro has this one back, and it goes over to that halfway line, but not quite over. Now we've really got to stick with them, and there's the header back. Broya, though, misses it. Pedro Roca over to Galić, but he can't get it. Maradona now to Nia. That looks a little bit better. Nia forward for Galić. There you go. There you go.
Torschütze heute Nachmittag für das Team der Tische.
It's everybody who's doing it here. Galić, excellent position, and Milan Garnacho, nobody even close to it. 3-0.
Torschütze heute Nachmittag für das Team der Tische.
Köln now playing with a little bit more urgency. You can see, I think that they're trying to get something made up as quick as they can. And they better be urgent about it because they are far, far behind. Well, we almost had another run there, maybe an inch or two more, and we would have had that ball intercepted, and that would have led to something. And that'll be a corner there for Köln. So, I mean, we can't exactly rest on our laurels quite yet, right? But we're getting close to that point. And this is headed up and out. No, it's not. It stays in. Maradona now. Pedro Roca right behind him. Lumps this forward, and I'm not sure who that was to. Garnacho ends up within the back nets. Or for Broya, who I think is offside. Yeah. Here's Boyomo over to nets. Nets forward for Broya, who maybe is onside this time. Let's see. Now they're not even going to look at it. Broya's put on a clinic here. I mean, check this out. He just goes and nobody's there with him. Hard angle, but he shoots and scores. We don't even get a potential offside replay, so I'm not sure if the game missed one on purpose or what exactly happened. Galić, Maradona to Nia. Seiko. Well, and that's the end of that highlight. 4-0 for Augsburg, and we have really come out of the gates here. Boyomo over to Yashin to Nets. Nets to Campagnaro. Broya down to Garnacho. Campagnaro. And loses it, but only momentarily. Nia just can't quite get onto that, unfortunately for us. There's Boyomo over to Nia to Seiko, and so it's looking better. Galić now. Galić wide open.
Torschütze heute Nachmittag für das Team der Tische.
So 5 first half goals here for Augsburg, and this is becoming a little bit silly. Last couple of matches have been very tight, and this one not even close. 5 goals for us so far here in the first half. And we don't even have all of our legends on. There are other players that we could put on if we wanted to. All right, so we'll go to halftime now. Augsburg playing, I would say, fairly well in this one. Yeah, we have quite a few shots on goal. We're looking for Broya and Galić. Both of them are sitting on potential hat tricks. When one or the other or both end up with that, we'll end up probably taking them out and giving some time to some of our other really fast strikers. I'm thinking of the North Korean and of Saddam Hussein. Campagnaro over to Nets. Nets over to Yashin, and he lumps this forward, and that's going to be the end of that highlight. Here's Overoth, and Boyomo, does not get a hat on that, but Yashin is there to make the save. Fortunately, here's Maradona. Looking for Boyomo, can't find him. That'll be a corner for Augsburg here. And so we continue to pile on the pressure here in the second half, despite having the major lead. And Seiko just can't quite get onto that. You know he's going to start scoring goals here pretty soon. And, oh man, we're close to intercepting that, and you have a couple of guys there who are hungry for hat tricks. I haven't had a match like this in many months. The last time I had a Football Manager match like this, I think was the BYU save that didn't last that long. It's been a while since I've seen a ridiculous victory. Rocha over to Yashin, and he's looking for Broya, but can't find him. Campagnaro does win it. Bumped over to Maradona. You know, I've lost matches like this. And here's Maradona with a corner again. I'm amazed that there are still fans here. And that's about as close as you can get if you're Seiko to scoring with your foot on a corner without doing so. Here's Roca. And Thielmans just walked it out of bounds again. So Walking out of bounds, as you'll remember, is a staple of FM20, and it looks like that's back here in FM23. Schnellinger now over to Overoth, and Roca ends up giving up a corner. I mean, it's been end-to-end action here, I'll tell you that, for both teams, right? I mean, you know, they end up with a bunch of corners, we end up with a bunch of corners, but we've just done a lot better in putting them away. 5-0 for Augsburg as Yashin grabs onto that. Here's Luka Netz. Down to Garnacho, over to Netz again. Netz. Yeah. Over to Maradona. Or for Galić, but can't get it to him. And there was Broja waiting in the wings. I think we figured out who our starting strikers are. I mean, these guys are just incredible. Netz wins this. Broja. And that was a shot by who? Maradona from the middle of nowhere. That was a crazy shot. I know, we probably should have Maradona playing striker, but it's hard. You got to find a place for everybody. Here's Roca. And it wasn't much of a shot, but, you know, it was worth a try. Galić now with a 9.9 rating. Here's Maradona, and he's so close. So close to getting the hat trick. I mean, this is just excellent for Maradona. Forces the save, and then it was off of Schnellinger's head. Oh, almost a known goal. You believe we're only 60 minutes into this match. Garnacho pulls it down. And how sweet it is, I'll tell you that. Boyoma knocks this out for a corner. So that's not what we really wanted to see, but I mean, we'll take it. They've had some momentum here, but Netz goes and wins it, and Lidbowski was called for being offside anyway. Netz with the throw over to Campagnaro. Over to Boyomo. Netz again, Boyomo. Down to Nia. Galić to Maradona. Forward for Roca, and it's just one pass too many, I think. Nia will go back and win this over to Maradona again. Forward for Broja, looking for that hat trick. And that was pretty close by Garnacho. Close, but no cigar. Here's Boyomo. Netz with this. He's tackled right away, and then he hasn't recovered very well. Campagnaro tries to recover to win it, and doesn't quite do it. Schnellinger here with it, and playing 1-2, and fortunately Seiko's back there and can head it backwards a little bit, and there's Yashin picking up the shot in the end. So we weather a little bit of a storm there. This is definitely not one of the more exciting matches we've had, and Broja was knocked down, and there's no call. We haven't seen a lot of penalty calls. They just sort of let the guys duke it out. And I mean, you know, as much as I complain about that, given what we're doing to other teams, I'm kind of happy for it. Otherwise, we'd be giving up penalties left and right like it was going out of style, and we definitely don't want to do that. And that was close, probably a little bit too close for comfort. So we are going to make a change. I do agree, we're going to take Maradona out. And I think we'll put Alonga on and go from there. Here's Yashin. Netz. Campagnaro. And he just gave it up as soon as he had it. Yeah, however, heads it back to Yashin, so we'll try it again. This is blasted downfield, but unfortunately we're not able to win that. Here's Pedro Roca, and they whistle Thielman for being offside. I'm not sure it makes much of a difference at this point. He's not going to score 5 goals on that. Broja, and it's taken away a little too easily. So no goals here in the second half for Augsburg. It tells me that we still do have a little bit to work on. Yashin with this in the back. Köln are a good side, but they're not that good, and we have higher ambitions than just that. Netz forward for Broja. Broja will just walk this over and tries for the hat trick and ends up just hitting side netting. That's another thing from Football Manager past, FM20, FM19, where you'd see that happen. And excellent save. Man, oh man. So there's still moments where your heart starts palpitating, but we've managed to see them now. Longo over to nets. Longo. And it ends up doing nothing with it, unfortunately. Just a couple minutes left. The thing I like about Maradona, at least so far in this game, is that he's been very pass-oriented, not so much shot-oriented, which is a little different from Longo. This ends up forward for Nia to Seiko. Roca, and he goes back to Yashin. Roya is not going to win that. We still need to work on our heading. We need to work on our defense too. What was that?
Torschütze heute Nachmittag für das Team der Torschützen.
So Köln get one back here. I mean, we're doing okay, and then Libarski somehow gets in front of everybody, and Leviashin is just standing there. And then what is that little trot, right? It's almost like he's pouting after giving up the goal. So 5-1 now the score. It wasn't quite as much of a memorable victory as I wish. He's going to stay here 5-1. We're not going to see the ball again. That first half was something. The second half was something else. And there's Boyomo with it, and he knocks us forward. That's going to do it. That should be the final whistle, and that is... No, not quite. You can see everybody just about ready to give up on this match. Final whistle will come here in a second. There it is. So Augsburg with the dominating victory, 5-1, defying all expectations, including my own, puts us up to 36 points. And so we try to continue to collect those points and do the best that we can. Hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you tomorrow with another match. Bye-bye.